Hey guys, Constance here. So today I am out in the woods. It has been a long week. I came out here just to de-stress, because going for a walk in the woods, even if a lot of your woods is flooded again, yeah, it's still nice to be able to do that. Just coming out in the fresh air, it gave me a heart attack. Humongous branch just fell in the water. No. Oh, it's a beaver. Oh, it's a beaver. Hold on. I don't know if you'll be able to see this. I don't know if I can get close enough, because where I would normally walk is flooded. Oh, let me see if I can get over here. Oh, there he was. Did you see him splashing? There he is. Oh. That is a beaver. Oh, there's another one. There's another beaver swimming right there. There it goes. I thought that was a branch that fell off of the tree. We've had so much wind. I mean, it's still windy today. Hey guys, so this is my third attempt at filming this today. It has been one of those weeks. Yesterday on Facebook, last night, on Facebook and Twitter, I mentioned that I was just exhausted and there wasn't going to be a Monday video because everything that had been going on, and that I would explain in the Tuesday video, which is what I'm filming here today. So there's just been a lot going on. I mean, of course, you are very aware, I'm sure, if you live in the United States, you know what comes every mid-April? Tax season. And so last week was just busy. It just was busy. First, I helped my youngest son go through his taxes, do all of his taxes. First time he's ever had to file, so I had him sit at my desk and I just walked him through it. Made him do it, but I walked him through it and showed him how to do it. Then, I think it was like maybe the next day, my older son called me from Germany. And, you know, when I answered the phone and he looked at me with this big cheesy grin, yeah, I knew he wanted something. And he goes, "Mom, so I'm doing my taxes." Like, oh, yeah, okay, I see how it is. You don't call your mother unless you need something. If you're watching, Josh, which I know you're not, call your mother once in a while. So, spend about 3.5 hours FaceTiming him and helping him walk him through his taxes. He's done them before, but of course he's second guessing everything because, you know, whatever. So I walked him through it, he did his taxes. Then it might have even been the same day. I don't know if it was the same day or the next day. My daughter calls me. "Mom, I have a question." Let me guess, you're doing your taxes. Yep, she's doing her taxes. So it is really, really windy. The weather's been atrocious, again, as usual. Broken record, right, since January. I have my external microphone on here, so hopefully you can hear me all right. It usually does a pretty good job of blocking out the wind. Of course, it helps if it's plugged in, like it wasn't the last time I filmed this. Anyways, what was I saying? Yes, tax season. So I helped all three of the kiddos go through and do what they needed to do. Now, Jennifer was really upset because it looked like she was going to end up having to pay out some money this year. She did last year too, and it has to do with her job not doing things or something. So just if you're a praying person, please pray for Jennifer. She's going to start job hunting, and I hopefully she can find something a little bit better than where she's at now. It's a little bit stressful. So I'd appreciate that. So that leads to us. Yes, now I will admit, I totally forgot to do my taxes. That's the honest to goodness truth. I totally forgot. Now normally I do my taxes as soon as the W-2s are available. I don't dawdle, I get it done with, I take care of it. But this year, for some reason, I forgot. I totally forgot until I had to help my kids do it. So I spent, let's see, Friday evening getting started on it, worked on it until I was exhausted and couldn't do any more, went to bed, got up the next morning, and I didn't even get dressed, okay? I threw on some jeans to do my chores. I still had my pajama shirt on. I still had my hair clipped back from putting in my contacts. And that's how I was at 10 o'clock that night. Because I was just sick and trying everything I could to try and fix what I was seeing, except there was no fix. And we've gone through multiple programs, different accounting things and all that stuff, and there's no fix. So many of you are aware that my husband worked overseas last year, and yeah, it was supposed to be tax-free, and apparently the law changed or something changed, and a good chunk of his income was not tax-free, and they took over 50% in tax. The problem was, it was expected to be tax-free, and nothing was withheld. Yes, and as if that wasn't bad enough, you know, last year we had to pay a little bit because Uncle Sam, the Army, didn't take out enough for withholding, and so we changed his withholding stuff so that it would keep back more. They still didn't hold back enough. So we'd had to pay for that too, but yeah, not for what we have to pay for his other job, and I'm frankly glad he doesn't work there anymore, not only for the fact that he's home instead of in another country, but also I don't want to have to deal with something like this ever again, because we owe thousands. That's sickening. We owe thousands. Yeah, that was a punch in the gut. So it wasn't a good weekend. Hasn't been a good week, really. However, Sunday was a wonderful reprieve. Sunday was great. Now I did have to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning to get on the road because I had to be down to Birmingham by 5:30 because I was meeting with a photographer who had hired me to work for him for an event. They were having a marathon in Birmingham and we were photographing it, and it was really a fantastic thing to do. Now I have never photographed a marathon before. Something new to do, and of course, you know, marathons are massive. I mean, just geographically they're massive. It's 26.2 miles of track, and so you've got photographers in different points doing different things. I had like one assignment, I had to be here at this time, and then I had to go move like several blocks over that way to get this part of the route and things like that. And it was really nice. The marathon itself was a charity event. It was raising funds for the Children's Hospital. So not only was, you know, this marathon that I was photographing just a really cool event to attend, but then it had a great cause too that it was working towards. Now, I will tell you, standing in downtown Birmingham in the middle of the road, taking pictures of runners, things like that, it was pretty cool. Now, a lot of the runners, you know, they would come through, and a lot, you know, maybe half of them would just completely be oblivious to me. And then about another half of them would see me as they were coming down. They'd see me and my tripod and all that stuff set up, and they would either smile or acknowledge me in some way. I'd get a lot of thumbs up or hang loose, and just, it was really neat. But what really blew me out of the water was how many of these runners would thank me for standing out there and taking pictures. I'm standing here taking pictures. I'm drinking coffee. I mean, don't thank me. You're the one running 26.2 miles to raise funds for a charity. So, you know, I'm not the one to be thanked. That was a pretty awesome thing. Except one person. One person wasn't awesome. No, one person was definitely not awesome, because I took 4,500 photos, 4,500 plus photos yesterday. And yesterday evening I sat down and I went through all 4,500 plus photos picking out all of my favorites. Now, the photographer who had hired me pulled all of the camera, or all of the images from my SD cards to use for the marathon, but I still have the rights to use the photos for my own purposes. And so I went through to pull out my favorites so that I can edit them. You know, I have a few I'd like to artistically edit and put all of those in my gallery. Well, as I'm going through all of these photos, I noticed something. There was this one guy who was an older fellow, a little overweight, but he was running. You know, that's great. Good on you. There was a lot of people, all different ages, all different body types, different fitness levels, everybody doing this thing. But this guy, he's coming down the road and he's walking. I get it, you're tired. You've been going a long ways. Well, when he saw the camera, he started jogging very slowly because, of course, he was exhausted. You know, that's fine. If you want to jog for the camera, you know, whatever. No problem. I'm not judging you. Until I went through the photos and I noticed, see, because as I was going through these pictures, I was looking at people's hands. I was looking for people giving me the thumbs ups and stuff like that. This guy? Oh yeah, he gave me a one finger salute. It wasn't a thumbs up. He was flipping me off with both of his hands in the pictures. So you know what I did? I deleted his pictures. But yes, so it was a great time. It was a wonderful reprieve from the stress that I have been going through over these dad-blasted taxes, you know, but it is what it is. I could woe is me all day long about the taxes, but that's not going to fix anything. Mr. Smith, I don't know how many times he's like, I'm sorry, we have to do this, I'm sorry we had to pay. I'm like, honey, you couldn't foresee this, I couldn't foresee this. We thought we had changed the withholding. We didn't think we'd ever have to pay again. At least, you know, not for what these things were, and it is what it is. Fussing about it isn't going to do any good. You just got to do what you can do and move forward. So that is what has been going on around here, and that is why a walk in the woods and enjoying some fresh air and just breathing it in was called for today. So as you can see back there, yeah, it's all flooded again. It's all flooded, just like my garden. I'm telling you, I think I'm going to end up having to dig trenches around my garden because I don't know how it's ever going to drain. There is just so much water. You know, we planted beans the other day, and I don't even know if they're going to be able to make it. I think they're going to be too waterlogged. I think they're just going to rot. It's awful. I've never seen this much rain. Broken record. Speaking of broken records, we broke records. We broke records all over Alabama yesterday for the amount of rain we got in one day. Crazy. I don't know. I'm hoping we're going to be able to have our garden this year. You know, at this point, if things don't dry out soon, we'll end up only being able to use our raised beds, which isn't much. I've only got a few raised beds out there. You know, we have this huge garden that we fenced and all this stuff, and I'd like to be able to use it. This weather is just atrocious. Do you know, this morning, I went to the post office to pick up a package, came out of the post office, got in my truck, looked up, there was frozen precipitation on my windshield. Yeah, frozen precipitation. I don't live in Alaska anymore. I don't live in Wisconsin where I grew up. This is April. This is mid-April in Alabama. There should not be frozen precipitation. Oh my word, we got stuff down everywhere. Look at this. We have got trees down all over the place from these storms. Straight line winds and all of that. Now this one I can just pull off, but we've got some really big trees that are down. And I'm going to have to get the chainsaw working. Okay, weatherman. We need a break. We need a break. But at least the buckeyes are blooming. Don't you love buckeyes? They're so cute. They're so pretty. I just wish that buckeyes themselves were edible instead of toxic. I can enjoy the blossoms though. They are pretty.